is about a Mexican-Canadian family living in East Vancouver, which is my neighborhood back home. And 20 years ago, their parents died in a car crash. And we visit them 20 years later as their lives are sort of unfolding and their general questions of who they are, where they're going, what are they doing with their lives. So one of the kind of wild things about living in Vancouver is that you live in this place that's so beautiful, that has the mountains and the ocean, yet you live with the knowledge that a Richter scale 10 earthquake that they call the big one is going to hit at some point in the next 100 years. And that kind of precarity, that sort of fragility, actually is what sort of reminded me of Chekhov and that kind of dying class and that way of life that's just on the edge of extinction that we all just live with and carry with us. And it felt like a really clear and strong connection. And the fact that those fault lines that Vancouver sit on go all the way through the countries that my family has origins in, through the United States and into Mexico. So that felt like a very ripe territory for a story. So when I started writing this play, I actually never reread Three Sisters. I just went with what I remember from scene study in theater school. And I got to a certain point and I went, why am I doing this? As someone with Mexican-American ancestry, why am I going for my remembering of a dead Russian's translated works? And what if it was something else? And the characters are also grappling with this idea of that they have these ancestral roots in another country that they don't live in anymore or have never lived in. And that question of who are we supposed to be, and specifically being at the Tarragon, you know, what is a Canadian play? What are the defining factors of that? And how does all the places that we've been from inform what our work looks like now? Oh, working with Guillermo is a dream come true. I remember when I was in theater school and I was in a Canadian theater history class, and there was Fronteras Americanas. I had never encountered, you know, theater from Latin American artists before in that way, and to have a Canadian to see, you know, bits that my dad did at home that were also jokes in the show was so profound and really stuck with me and became an experience that I wanted to be able to share myself. And so now working with him and seeing how smart he is and how funny he is and how rigorous he is, it's been a true gift. And for me to have, you know, a large cast, primarily Latinx cast, led by Guillermo is like, it's gonna take me a long time to wrap my brain around that. El Terremoto begins previews March 26th, and you can get your tickets at tarragontheatre.com.